Moving on. So there is this video making the rounds on social media about these marchers at a New York City Pride Parade chanting that they're here, that they're queer, nothing wrong with it, and that they are coming for your children. You don't believe me? Just see the receipts, if you will.
We're coming for your children. We're not for your children. We're here. We're queer. We're not for your children. We're here. We're queer. We're not.
Now, what you just saw with your own eyes and heard with your own ears is a gang of people, each with titties, who have differing relationships with gravity. Some good, some not so good. Look you dead in the eye and tell you that they're here and that they're queer and that they're coming for your children. Now, here is how the truth harbingers at NBC decided to spin this little Catalina wine mixer. A gentleman by the name of Tyler Kincaid writes, and I quote, "Over the weekend, a short video circulated widely on social media of an unidentified person at a New York City march during Pride festivities saying that we're coming for your children." We're not even one chapter into the article, and the company's meter is already at DEFCON 1. Mr. Kincaid here is telling us not to believe our lying eyes, that it was just only one person. But you know what? For the benefit of the doubt, run the receipts one more time, Jesse.
We're coming for your children. We're queer. We're not for your children. We're here. We're queer. We're not for your children. We're here. We're queer. We're not.
One person, eh? But let's carry on. In a 21-second clip, Mr. Kincaid writes, that was circulated by a right-wing web streamer channel, dozens of people march in the streets and are clearly heard chanting, "We're here, we're queer, we're now going shopping." But one voice that is louder than the crowd, and it's not clear whose, or whether that speaker was a member of the LGBTQ community, is heard saying at least twice that we're here, that we're queer, that we're coming for your children. Ah, I get it. It was a false flag operation. Oh, God. What was I thinking? But how exactly did that happen, Mr. Kincaid? Did a neo-Nazi Trump supporter infiltrate the Pride Parade march? And through a series of incantations, spellbound all the attendees into singing a pedophile hymn against their will. That's the story that you're going with? Then case dismissed. There is nothing to see here. You jabroni. Mr. Kincaid continues. To conservative pundits, activists, and lawmakers, this confirmed allegations they've levied in recent years that the LGBTQ community is grooming children. But to Brian Griffin, the original organizer of the New York City Drag March, if that's the worst they heard, it's only because he wasn't there this year. Griffin said that he chanted obscene things in the past, like "kill, kill, we're coming to kill the mayor," and joked about pubic hair and sex toys during marches. People at the drag march regularly sing "God is a lesbian." It's all just words, Griffin said. It's all presented to fulfill their worst stereotype of us. Oh! Well, thank you for the clarification. It was just a joke thing. Guys, they were never coming for your children. It was all said in jest. Absolutely hilarious. But here's a little bit of a cliff note about that whole joke business. It seems as though these jokes only go one way. Because according to you, it's completely fine to joke about coming for our children. But if I crack a joke about that dick below your dress, suddenly I'm committing genocide and YouTube is demonetizing me. I'm confused. I need some clarifications. Are we or are we not kikiing? But you know what? Why don't you go ahead and tell me some more of those jokes? Jesse, if you will.
Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. Just like you worried, they'll change their group of friends. You won't approve of where they go at night to protest. Oh, and you'll be disgusted so gross when they start finding things online that you've kept far from their sight. Will convert your children.
First of all, everyone in those quadrants should have their door kicked in by the FBI and their hard drives scrubbed forensically. This whole thing is giving art imitating life vibes, and I don't like it. You won't know where your children go at night. They'll be exposed to things you don't want them to see. And that's funny to you. See, here is the reason why people get so upset with this kind of rhetoric or jokes, as you so eloquently put it. It's because you pulled a reverse Uno card on the rest of us. See, you chose a lifestyle that makes it impossible for you to bear your own children. If you are going around chanting, we're here, we're queer, we're coming for our children, I will sleep a little bit easier at night. Now, do I feel bad for the kids? Of course. Is it tragic? Absolutely. But that is CPS's business. I pay my taxes so I don't have to hear about it. But when the only kids in the pot are ours, now the stakes are exponentially raised. And we no longer find your little jokes very funny. You are a ridiculous and preposterous man, Mr. Kincaid. Moving on. You like that clip? So why don't you go ahead and click here for the full podcast. Or maybe you want to check out my new movie, Irreconcilable Differences. Go ahead and click here. And if you're in the mood for some stand-up comedy and you want to check out my new special entitled Daddy, Are We Famous Yet? The link is in the description. Or maybe you want to check out my new book called Sons of Monarchy. The link is in the description as well. In the meantime, why don't you be a gem, share, subscribe, comment, and maybe hit that bell notification so you know when we're creating new content.